Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of Beyond the Bricks with Facilities Management, a production of Facilities Management Communications, where we give you a behind-the-scenes peek into how facilities management builds and maintains a campus known for its beautiful architecture and grounds. My name is Trey Wood.
And my name's Grant Peterson.
And today we're talking to one Mr. Justin Sutton, Director of Landscape Services, on a recent award they won, as well as how they got around to winning it.
That's right.
What else we talking about?
We're going to talk about, challenges that they face and how they overcome them, and how it's really a team effort to accomplish everything that they did, especially to win this award.
That's beautiful.
It was good.
Now play me that theme song. And today we're talking with one Mr. Justin Sutton, Director of Landscape Services here at Facilities Management. Justin, thank you so much for coming on the show today. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
Today we're talking about the Professional Grounds Management Society's 2022 Green Star Awards, which Landscape Services won the Grand Poobah.
Sure.
Do you know you don't know about Grand Poobah?
It's just you.
Why
buddy.
is it just me?
It's just you.
I don't believe you. I don't believe this at all. And this is for educational institutions, university and college grounds, large category, 500 plus acres.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah. This award was mainly for our employees. I don't think we necessarily had to have this award to validate how well I think our team performs necessarily.
Absolutely.
But it was for them, just as something to show that we are kind of one of the top, I think, best looking campuses in the, not just in the SEC, but maybe in the whole nation. So this is more of just a validation of what we kind of already knew. And I don't say that pridefully necessarily. I just say that because that's just based on the team that we have and how well they work and how much pride they take in their job and how much it means to them. And so this was for them. And so the gathering of that information was about at least a 2-year process of just taking pictures. And
Really?
so,
it took you 2 years to get all that together?
I mean, most of the pictures, it's a very detailed type submission. So to have the right pictures and everything to go along with the categories within the submission of the award, it took a little while just to get those perfect pictures and then really kind of showing the variety and complexity of campus, different seasons, not just all the spring pictures where everything looks good, but really kind of each season of the year.
So they judge you for like an entire year, not just like we only want to see flower pictures in the spring, but for how you've got like safety design, special projects, and I know y'all do special projects throughout the year in terms of like the AU on Ross Square. And I think I read something about where you planted red, white, and blue for the ROTC or the veterans on campus.
Right, yeah, so just up there by the flagpole. And our joke there is just that's probably the only spot you'll see red on our campus.
Fair. But
it's for the stars and stripes of Old Glory there flying above. So we just kind of did that for them. We were trying to find some places, and we're really good, and our team's really good about just finding new places to put annual color or enhance the landscape in different areas. And so that was one area where we added that little splash of color, and we've kind of kept that same theme in that area around the flagpole there, because that is kind of the main campus, the main building on campus as well, the flagpole there at Sanford Hall. So
Did y'all do anything to prepare for the award, like whenever you did the submission?
I mean, not really. I think it's just you do kind of take the best of some of the pictures. Granted, you're not going to take a picture of something that looks really bad and submit it as one of your beautification pictures.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you do on that submission where under challenges. And so we have a lot of different challenges. And so that's where you may submit a picture that's not so beautiful, because it is a challenge each year to try to keep campus looking well in a specific area. We submitted one of campus green due to all the tailgate damage from football season.
Right.
Of course, we have a very unique tradition of rolling Toomer's Corner.
Always.
That's a huge challenge that no one else in the world can say they have a challenge of cleaning up toilet paper on a Sunday and Monday, sometimes through Wednesday.
And now we do that ourselves. It's not contracted out.
But it is. So last year we did it all of we did it ourselves. This year we have we tweaked that contract a little bit, so we have a little bit of help now. So when we do that, so
because I can only imagine.
Well, when basketball is successful, and hopefully when football comes around being successful again, and those are going to be times where it's year-round cleanup of almost toilet paper,
right?
Other than the summer, probably.
Oh yeah, and then you've got gymnastics,
sure,
hitting off, baseball, doing real well.
Keep going to Omaha.
Keep going to Omaha. Keep going to Omaha.
Rolled.
Keep going to the Final Four.
So it's good. I always say it's kind of a win-win for us because if you win, well then you win.
Right.
Everybody's mostly an Auburn fan. Everyone wants to see athletics do well.
Right.
But if you lose, we also win. Because we don't have anything to clean up. So to us, it's a win-win. I'd much rather win, not lose. You know what I mean? So.
No. I totally get it.
It's unique for sure, and we've actually teamed up some with the industrial design folks and tried to have them come up with different ways to remove toilet paper from trees. Because oddly enough, it's not something people talk about or design or do, a toilet paper picker.
Yeah.
It's very unique to us. So to have them kind of think literally outside the box on something was pretty cool to see what kind of designs they came up with. And that's, again, kind of Ben Bush over in industrial design kind of did that study with them last semester. So it was really interesting to see kind of some of the concepts that students came up with. So
I was trying to think when I wrote that story for the football program way back when about toilet papering, there was like one other school that did it. I want to say it was Wake Forest.
I don't remember. I know I've gotten an email from there's
like one other school.
I've gotten an email from a high school, I believe it was either Alabama or Georgia, that do it. They're like kind of their last day. It's like their senior prank, and it's a tradition at their school, and they roll the school parking lot,
right?
Basically with all the big trees there,
right?
Because they asked me, how do you get toilet paper out of a tree? And I just basically, good luck.
Yeah. You got to pick it all out.
If you find out a way, let me know.
Yeah,
that's
please,
better than
please
what
tell
we
us
try.
as well.
So,
if you figure it out, give us a holler.
And so that's the only time I'd actually even heard of it being a tradition at another school, really. And it was a high school. So, again, pretty unique.
What do you think all of the landscape employees are the most proud of about this award? Because I'm sure there's multiple different categories. What do you think is the thing they're the most proud of that they succeeded in doing?
That's a good question. I mean,
you said the thing earlier about not trying to be proud or anything or sound proud about it, but I mean it's a big deal.
Off.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a big award for us.
500 plus acres. That's huge. 49 people.
Yeah.
Right. So how many acres is that per employee?
So we average
50,
about
10.
Total. We average about 18.8
per landscape
full-time employee per acre. I'm sorry, acre per full-time employee.
That's that's a small farm per person.
Yeah.
On a college campus.
But that's due to a lot of our APA outlines and APA level 1s and 2s and 3s and things like that across campus. But I think it brought a little bit more perspective into just our overall teamwork. Because the submission really hit on every level. It didn't leave anyone out as far as what we do as a campus. And so anywhere from our annual color team to even pesticide management team, our tree team, irrigation plays a huge part, our irrigation techs. I mean, of course, the maintenance and just general care is the majority of what we do on a daily basis.
Right. Cutting grass.
Sure. I mean, keeping campus
raking,
picking up trash after football season. Our tree team, tree risk assessment, that was another challenge. It's hard to remove a nice big tree when it's green and looks fairly decent, but there's an issue at the base of it and it's not stable.
And it becomes a danger.
Right, and you do a tree risk assessment and you realize, okay, there's a major pedestrian pathway and a major road right here. What do we need to do with this tree? Well, we need to remove it, so that's another challenge is making that call. So again, it had everyone was involved in it, and I think it emphasized more of just a team effort of what it takes. And so I think everybody got something out of it, I hope. Again, not to necessarily needed to validate what we do. But I mean, it certainly gave us a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
I mean, it
all that
should.
hard work paid off.
Sure.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And
I mean,
we get,
it's an
and we
awesome
get, we
thing.
get, and it's great. I mean, our campus community is wonderful there. We get a lot of compliments just on different buildings and stuff, and so we don't ever take those for granted.
Right.
We don't brush them off.
I mean, who doesn't like being complimented?
Yeah,
you
but
know?
but at the same time, we can't get just complacent.
Right.
Our motto is to make sure we can always say campuses never look better. And so you strive for that. You're making improvements every day. Now, right now, it might not look its best because we had a very hard freeze there right before Christmas. So
Right.
we're dealing with a lot
And
of
Well, I mean, we've
rain.
had several like
spring. Spring is going to be very interesting this year just to see what comes back, what doesn't, what we're going to have to replace.
or see if the freezes last through March.
Well,
'Cause
that's true too.
you
We're
know,
not done yet. Yeah.
No, of course not.
And so it's just different. You know, campus probably doesn't look its best right now, and that has nothing to do with what we've done. It's just the fact of the challenges of
Right.
Yeah.
Alabama weather. I think that's another challenge we could throw in there.
Yeah.
Is one day you're
Gets weirder every year.
65, I think 62 degrees. The next day,
14.
you're 27.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
With a
well,
low of 9.
we were like
you know?
27 this morning, and then it's supposed to
Right.
warm up to a reasonable 60.
Well, I always
you know?
say, I mean, you live in Alabama when you use your heater and your air conditioner in the same day.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
That's Alabama
given.
weather. That's
given.
it. So yeah.
Going off what you just said about campuses never looked better. So for the next time, what do you think y'all want to try to improve on?
You have to wait 3 years before you can submit
Oh,
for
okay.
the same award again.
Yeah,
So-
because there's this thing.
Got to give people a chance.
There's this thing, this overall award for the 95 plus. That's what I want because nobody's won it. Like grand award is 85 plus,
Right.
which is baller.
Yeah.
But the overall means you got to get 95 across the board. Nobody's ever won it because that's crazy. 95. I mean, look. I mean, that's a crazy amount. You know, everything's
Yeah.
basically got to be perfect across the board.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
We
saying.
could get there. We could get there.
You know, your first time entry,
Right.
first time winner.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's time to bring home the
You
big
gotta
money.
step it up, right?
You do have 3 perfects across the board.
Yeah.
So it's doable.
It is. You know, we'll probably submit for it again. And the nice thing about it is you can also kind of submit for a particular area of campus. You don't have to do the entire
Right.
campus.
You can do like the
sometimes.
small area.
Sure. Yeah. So may do something like that. So okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we can do. So
I believe in you. I believe. I always believe in landscaping. I know you guys can accomplish it. You guys and girls can accomplish anything you want to.
well, I appreciate it. I mean, I have no doubt that we could probably pull that one off. So again, I didn't even know about it. I'm gonna have to look into it a little bit more now. So.
Well, I mean, I think that's probably why, because nobody's ever won it. Because that's got to be really hard to get. Do you know like what your score was? Like what your numerical score was? Roundabout?
I think I do, but I can't. I'm not.
It's gotta be
I can't
either-
remember.
It's got to be either 85 or higher.
They told me. I just can't. I can't remember what it was.
So you're either. I mean, you could be 1 point away.
Could have been.
You could be one blade of grass out of line.
Yeah.
Just snip it. 95 plus.
That's the hard part, but they critique each picture that's submitted. It's critiqued pretty heavily.
So it's every 3 years. You can only submit every 3 years.
Mm-hmm. If you win the grand award. you
Oh,
can-
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so then you got to give somebody else a chance. So that
Sure.
it's a rotational
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if we spoke. This was the first time y'all submitted,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you won the first time. That's impressive.
Just saying.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's one of the. I was told it's one of the first times a first submission has won the award on the first time.
We're in everything school. Did you know hashtag everything school?
I do.
But we take that as a different approach of what we do impacts that as far as a recruiting. We kind of wear that first and last impression.
Right.
Whether you're trying to recruit a student or you're just trying to recruit a student athlete or a faculty or staff member
Right.
or whatever. The first impression is a big part of that.
I mean, you don't want-
and we play a big part of that. So.
You don't want it looking ratty-tatty when you've got new people walking on campus and they're
Right.
trying to decide whether or not this is the place for them.
Right. I mean, I've met people that have said, we would visit Auburn, come through campus. We really had no affiliation with Auburn other than we traveled down 85 to Orange Beach every year for vacation, and we
Right.
would stop into Auburn and eat lunch. we'd ride around campus. Now my kids go to Auburn because we grew up just driving through campus, and we always thought it was so beautiful. Never entered a building, just drove around, saw how beautiful campus was. Now you have I believe the guy told me has two of his kids are alumni, and one of them was a senior. This is a couple years ago.
Right.
He kind of shared that story. I was like, that's really cool. You decided to go to Auburn because of how it looked, and it was on the way to the beach, and you just drove through and ate lunch. So
it's a testament, man.
Pretty cool story.
That's one thing that's really unique, I find, to Auburn, that I've always found to Auburn. I mean, I transferred to several colleges when I went to Tech, and then I went to State, and I eventually landed down here. That the one thing, my whole family went here though, is it's very integrated with like the surround, like the community grew around the college being here. So like if we were the first step, then everything else just kind of radiated outward. So it's so integrated that you can't miss it.
Right.
But like Georgia Tech, you can miss that. You can see it from 85.
Absolutely.
But you actually have to enter it from like North Avenue. You're not going to necessarily see how pretty campus is from just driving downtown in Atlanta. But this one, Auburn, you can see the campus directly from just going anywhere.
Right. It's one and the same. I mean, I think from the city to the campus, it's
right.
And it's very unique. I mean, I've seen other schools and been to other schools, and we're a big Auburn family. My granddad taught naval ROTC here in the mid '60s, and so that's kind of how it got introduced into our family. I got two brothers, alumni, sister-in-law is my wife, and so it's very unique as far as the family atmosphere. Again, it's one of those things. We could talk about that all day, but it's just one of those things. Unless you experience it, you don't really understand kind of what this Auburn family feel is. So. Very, very, very special place. And so I graduated here in 2005 and never left. So I'm here. I'm probably a lifer. So.
What are some challenges y'all are facing? There we go. That's good.
Okay. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I mean, there's always kind of highs and lows. A lot of times that's based on, we're very seasonal, right? So as far as like the actual, season of winter, spring, summer, fall, things like that. As a department right now, probably just being able to hire some people. Seems like the hiring pool and candidates seems to be a little thin lately. So, take this opportunity to kind of plug that. If anybody wants to come join an award-winning landscape services department,
Grand Poobah Award.
Come on. We have several positions out posted right now. So I think we have a great team. And again, to me, that's the summary of this whole podcast is just that with the award and everything else is bragging on the team that we have.
Absolutely.
For sure.
And so they're the ones out doing all the hard work, and the campus looks the way it looks because of them. So they deserve all the credit for this for sure. So come be a part of it. That's kind of, that'd be my plug. So we have several positions, like I said, auemployment.com. They're all out there. As any position for Auburn University, that's where you start. So
to me, it's pretty much wrapped it up. Like if I had to describe landscape services in my head, so many people out there that go day in and day out doing all this. I mean, Jeff Dial, perfect example. Sure. Man, sitting up there, Sanford Lawn every day. He's cutting the grass. He's raking the leaves, throwing away the trash. He does everything for that area, and that's every single one of your employees.
But the great thing about him is if he was sitting here and you said that to him, he'd say, well, it's a team effort.
That's right.
He would. And I would hope, and I believe every employee, if you interviewed all of them, they would sit here and say, it's not about one person, it's about our entire department, our team. So,
I mean, that's the name of the game right there.
Yeah, well, that's my most important role, I think, is to make sure, I've sat down and asked our supervisors before when I first got this role of, what's the most important thing about your job? And it took around about, maybe the second round of answers, but we're all on the same page now.
Right.
It's not necessarily how campus looks. It's not if grass is mowed consistently. It's the employees.
Right.
And so
it's the people. That's
right. It's the people, and it's your team. It's the ones you're responsible for. It's the ones you report to. It's the ones that report to you. And it's not about hierarchy or this person does more than me. It's a team effort.
Right.
Everybody's job is equally important.
Yeah, it's the people.
Yeah.
It's the people that make it.
No matter what,
facilities as a whole.
As facilities, that's what I was going to say. We have to remember we're a customer service oriented group. And so that's our bread and butter. That's where ultimately at the end of the day, the students are our boss.
Right.
And so that's ultimately kind of who we report to.
That's
Without
right.
them, we don't have a job. Leadership trickles down, and so we have great leadership all the way through. So
Absolutely.
makes our jobs as directors and any position a lot easier when you have support from upper administration. And so
Even second bananas.
certainly have that. And so we're not able to do what we do without them. So
Justin, thank you so much for being with
Absolutely.
us today. This has been fantastic. Exactly what I expect from landscape
Well,
services.
thank you for the invite. It's been fun.
Of course.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Overall excellence. That's what we do.
We try.